Okay, this is just a test stream. This is my first time using StreamYard. This is in preparation for tomorrow night's rewatch of the 1925 Phantom of the Opera with co-host Wolf 10 Media. Trying to think what else I need to say. I hope you guys will come and watch with us. And you know, this is a movie that's been done several times and has even been re-released. There is a 1929 version. There's actually another version too of this particular movie. Hey, Wolf 10, just doing a test stream. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm seeing if I can. See if I can drop the link. Yeah. And my tablet is going to be a pain in the you know what. Mm. Well, I just advertised my rewatch for tomorrow. I need to figure out what image I'm going to use for my avatar. I might just do another drawing. Because I've been meaning to update my YouTube avatar too. Okay, did you get the link? Okay. Okay.
How you doing?
Pretty good. What about you?
Okay. I'm just playing some Dead or Alive.
5 or 6?
6. I'm playing the story right now.
Awesome.
And I just got done with my stream earlier.
Okay. I'm sorry I missed out on your Q&A work. You
It's
know how that
fine.
is.
Like I said, nobody's. I always put it in there in the group, and I try my best to give everybody a chance to hop in. Nobody's not completely obligated to show up, but it is welcome when they do.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting to say the least. Because I did what Troy did for his birthday, which is how he was able to get people to hop on it and guest speak. And two people from Britain or England, I think, came in out of nowhere, just complete total strangers. But we handled the conversation really well.
Oh, well, unfortunately, besides a surprise evening shift, I had my sister's birthday.
So, when was your sister's birthday?
Her birthday was last Friday.
Oh, that's you weren't able to attend.
Well, I popped in a quick minute, I think, but that was about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks.
yeah. On the other hand, I did get to spend some time with her. During this whole pandemic thing, it's not been easy.
I like to call it the what do I like to call it on my stream? Situation or
Uh,
um or plague. But you but you have your way of calling it. I just like to call it just because how silly it is at this
mm,
point. But yeah, I feel for you because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to visit family even this year. I don't know how the train's going to run, but trying to make it my mission to show up to my dad's wedding this year.
yeah, weddings particularly are kind of strange now. I know my sister. She actually got married last September for the third time. This time it was to a different guy. Her first two times it was to the same guy.
She got married twice to the same guy.
Yeah, almost three times.
Oh wow! So it's like that one song, "Break up to make up." That's all we do. Is it that
Yeah,
situation?
yeah, and then go through a whole divorce and and all that junk.
That's a lot
And
of money wasted, by the way.
yeah, and her idea of weddings is not exactly cheap. I mean,
Hmm. I at at
it's
the
it's
risk. Sorry,
it's
go
kind
ahead.
of well. Let's let's just say that it's her third wedding that's happened, but it has been the probably the 12th that's been planned.
12th.
Uh,
That's been planned.
yeah, yeah. Most of the time when she's dated a guy within 1 month, sometimes less than a week, she's already planning the wedding. Uh,
Oh, she's that type of she's that
Yeah,
way, I would say, where just just close the deal quickly before you lose them, right?
yeah, and unfortunately, like she is broken up with some of them before she's actually gotten down the aisle. Uh,
Oh, so she's also runaway bride too?
well, not quite. I mean, but it's kind of hard to explain because, like, she will plan the wedding before the guy even asks her, and then like she'll go ahead and start looking at dresses. Sometimes she'll buy dresses. She'll start stocking food from reception and get all these decorations and stuff. I mean, even even rent rent stuff for the actual ceremony
Yeah.
or and flowers and all that. And then if something happens and she sees a side of him she doesn't like, or I'm gonna call it an issue, she because she will complain about something for a while. Like there was one that was a bad alcoholic. She didn't realize it until about 1 month in when he got into a bar fight and broke his hand.
Yikes. That's a problem with him, not her.
Yeah,
But I'm I mean, she's smart for you know, cutting them loose before any more
Yeah,
complications arise.
yeah, and
I
then
mean, you gotta give her that.
yeah, true. Then again, she also I, I don't know if I can say dated because it's kind of an awkward to say because she was, I guess, communicating with a gentleman in prison, and it
Oh,
was
that's
a
not good.
and her exact words was, "All right, he's a rich guy, and he was going to open a motorcycle shop when he got out, and apparently whatever he was accused of, which, which apparently was money laundering or something, he didn't do, and I'm I'm thinking by now, like he's rich, he didn't do this crime. Why is he still sitting in prison? Yeah,
I was I was trying to hold back the laughter, but I couldn't hold it back anymore. The more you the more you piled on and piled on, I was like, oh, this is getting even more ridiculous by the way how it sounds, and I'm just sitting here just holding back a laugh, and I can't. I'm exploding. That's
it's okay.
interesting.
Now, oddly enough, the outlandish story is not why that relationship fell apart. It was actually because one of his teenage daughters announced that she didn't like my sister, and she actually made a point to be rude to her, and that caused that relationship to fall apart, which I think was actually a good thing. I feel bad for saying that, but
I don't. She dodged the bullet. That's a that's a okay thing. I think she really needs to really for at the risk of being an armchair advice giver. I I shouldn't I should be the last person that gives certain advice, but if I were to give an advice to her, I would say you really need to learn to be a little bit by yourself for a while to learn more about yourself because you're starting when you don't know that much about yourself, you attract unwanted drama, and you tend to be confused as to why you attract that amount of drama. You know.
yeah. Well, she has jumped the gun on some other things. I mean, back when I was in high school, well, she was looking to move out, she she actually put she called it a down payment. I think I forgot what the actual term for it
Mm.
but she had given this landowner a bunch of money to me to rent this house, and was
By
actually
the way,
buying.
did you share the stream? I don't
Oh
mean to
no,
cut you off.
oh no, I didn't. Like I said, this was just supposed to be a test stream.
I mean, it would help, but at least I caught it. So at least, well, now you know it works.
Yeah. But anyway, I was actually in a business law class at the time, and we actually had just finished covering rental properties, and
Yeah.
she was telling me all about her plans for this house. How there was a possibility of it turning from just renting to rent to own, and she said that she had already given the guy money, and I asked her if there was a contract, and she said, no, it's a verbal contract." And I told her, "No, it needs to be on paper because
Yes, it does.
because it's real estate." And she's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." And I actually asked her about that if she talked to my parents about our parents about it, and she's like, "Oh no, well, they know I'm renting going to rent it, but they don't. But as far as getting to see the property or anything, they were in the dark about that." And you know, about 2 weeks later, um, you probably know what happened without me telling you.
I got one idea, but I mean, if you don't want to tell me, you don't have to tell me.
Well,
Let. I guess I'll say we could just say it ended poorly for her.
yeah, the guy ran off with her money. She didn't get to rent the place, and she was furious.
I see. I mean, I wouldn't blame her. Well, I mean, it's kind of on her, but still, like, you should have got it in paper.
Yeah, I mean, I know she didn't really want to listen to my advice because she was in love with the idea of living on her own
And
and
that's
possibly
something
going
to
to house.
aspire to. Definitely get your own place.
But at the same time, I mean, I realized I was the younger sibling, and I really, I mean, yeah, I was in this class and we did cover this, and I was trying to give her advice, but you know, and I think just me being younger and her not really wanting to listen kind of made her tune me out, which sometimes the advice you need to hear is the advice you don't want to hear.
Right. That is right. That's too many times that's happened to far too many people, to be exact. That's true.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Who's that?
That's my wife.
Oh, hi.
She said hi.
Oh,
She can't hear us though. But
Oh,
she says hello.
ask her if she's going to watch the Phantom of the Opera with us tomorrow.
Oh no, she's gonna do her own thing. This is
Okay.
most like this whole stream stuff. This is mostly my thing, but if I do interact with her, I do interact with her every once in a while. So it comes out of nowhere. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
Like it may come off awkward at times. But like, yeah, your sister, I think she would have to really you know, I'm at loss of words right now. What about you, Green?
Well, me, I'm not really dating anyone right now. I kind of take it easy and on that end, especially due to the whole situation.
Right.
But
You don't want to
um,
get yeah. I'm just fortunate that I have somebody with me at this point,
yeah.
and I'm still like trying to make big plans for this year, despite the situation. I'm already meeting my goals since last year, which is working out and stuff, and she likes my bod. Like speaking to my wife, she really likes my bod. I said in one stream, she like she can't keep her hands off of me, and I love it. If you hear banging, that's her bat me on my head. But no, I don't mean to talk about me. What are your plans this year?
Well, obviously, I want to grow my channel some more, and
Don't we all?
yeah, and trying to think. I think that's
So,
my main personal goal.
mhm.
That and
So
that
you're
and
still working, right? You say you're
yeah.
working, right? Are you intending to just work, continue working, or try to make money off your YouTube channel?
Well, idealistically, I could. wish I that would be the goal, but you know, that is something that will definitely will take a lot more time
Hmm.
because see, I forgot how many subscribers you have to be before you're even considered qualified to be monetized.
Oh no, no, I don't mean monetize through YouTube, but like you can use somewhere else to I know you can use somewhere else to gain money without the need of being monetized by YouTube. Last time I checked, maybe. I don't know. I'm still trying. I'm trying to dip into that too myself. So, but you're still going to continue to work at your job, right?
Yeah,
No school plans.
no, well, not in the foreseeable future. I mean, I literally live about 5 minutes from a community college, but they have just some. It is a bit limited on what they can teach you, and I
Right.
have thought of going back and going into game design.
Oh, you were in game design. Game design. Sorry, my
Well,
tongue tied.
well, not well. It's something I'm interested in, and I have thought of a few ideas for games in the past, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I actually did do the introduction to trading games. That's actually how I met one of my boyfriends. Yeah, the guy who would rather play Minecraft than hang out with me.
Oh no.
Well,
And
and that thing is, this was supposed to be in his major, and I actually ended up doing better in that course than he did.
oh
Uh,
wow.
well, the thing is, he also didn't do two of the three projects we were supposed to do.
Oh, he was like me way back when. Brilliant but lazy.
Yeah, and the one he did do was the group project, and I guarantee you 10 people would not. Well, wait, 10 or 5. Been a
Right.
while back. I mean, if there's just one person who's determined to have something done, they will have something done. Now, it may not be perfect if they're the only one working on it, but
Right.
you know, someone's gonna have something to turn in. Yeah, that was and that was actually a really odd class because well, of we had four main things that would affected our grade. First was a test on the history of gaming. And then the second one was our first game project.
Okay.
And oddly enough, about I think it was about half the class did not turn anything in.
Oh wow.
And I think by the time we got the final project, which turned into our course final, I think only about 10 people didn't do anything.
What kind of class was this?
So community college, introduction to gaming class.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, most of most of the students in the class, they were in a game design program, which was supposed to carry on to another university.
Yikes.
Yeah, so at the same time, they had several programming classes going on. I mean, all the games we done were actually like physical, like card games or board games, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, do not ask about my first gaming project because I think I remember someone calling it like the ultimate troll game. Um, I don't know what got into me, but when I was doing the cards for the board game, um, about 2/3 of them or 3/4 of them were cards that would either get you losing a turn or going backwards, and uh, yeah,
So
Yeah,
just let me the pause this discussion. Quick question. Uh, since you're now kind of getting to the foray of streaming, how long are you planning to go?
probably just a few more minutes.
Okay, you
Yeah,
can continue.
well, I mean, and there was one guy who was in the test gaming, well, they were doing the test game where they were demoing my game. He had
Right.
the unfortunate circumstance of every single card he drew, he lost a turn.
Is that how that works?
Well, my original idea for it was okay, okay, you draw cards to move forward, or you stay in place, or take cards from someone else,
Yeah.
and it and you were actually looking for puzzle pieces for this tapestry picture, which I actually drew the pictures for that. Yeah, my original concept was going to be 8, and I narrowed and because of time I narrowed it down to 4.
Okay.
So I mean, first of all, they loved the drawings. They just didn't like, having to hunt for the actual picture.
So you're just you're basically an artist like I am, right?
A little bit. I'm definitely not a professional by any means.
Neither am I, but we're good at what we do.
Yeah,
So
but
what do you like to do art on, if you don't mind me asking?
well, I guess my main medium would be pencil, paper, and colored pencils.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just got into I last year, of course, I started getting into inking, but hopefully this year I'm going to get into digital art to finally see where my skills lie in that front. But you've already seen the body of work I've put onto the professor's group, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, your stuff is amazing.
Yeah, I think a lot of us love the picture I did for the Pacellis. If you haven't seen that, it's still on the geek group and it's on my MeWe.
Yeah, I think I commented on it. Like I said, it was awesome.
Yeah, I definitely for my medium, or at least my tools, I always do pen and pencil, or at least pen and pencil paper. I used to do a little bit color pencil, but then I got really deep into inking at at the moment, from markers to pen work. So I'm it's insane how I was able to adapt to that medium in such a short period of time, because I think I started somewhere near the end of the year before last year, and then I got better this like last year. And really, with the inking process, it takes a lot of patience, mostly. That's all I gotta say. It takes a lot of patience, just like drawing does.
Yeah, I mean, anything art related that's worthwhile really takes time, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and and I mean, I draw and I color, and I have painted a little bit. Uh, yeah, and I've actually also done ceramics.
Ceramics.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, and it's not just the stuff you can buy that's already been molded. The
Right.
uh, molded, um, I mean, actually form stuff with clay.
Do you
And
did you ever have an interest in sculpting too?
a little bit, but not that much. I'm not that good at it. Um, I actually really done a lot better on the pottery wheel, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, and that took me quite a while to master. Be- Um, you do have to work up from. Let's see, I think I started with about half a pound of clay and
Huh.
worked up to doing. Um, I want to say eight tiny cups or cups to being able to do a dinner plate.
Oh, nice. That sounds very
Yeah,
hair
I mean,
pulling.
yeah, and that actually technically did change a bit because you know, my, well, my first actual dinner plate looked like it just looked awful. It looked like like I'd mentioned the bowl. It just got bowled out on. You probably don't know what I mean, but it's kind of like when you make a bowl and it starts to flop,
Oh,
flop, yeah, on the sides, and then later and then as I kind of refined it a little bit better, I was able to make it look like it was something you would almost go to Walmart and go to the dish section and buy.
so less of a less of China, less of China pottery, and more of a messed up ashtray in a way. And then you finally, you know, got better, and you are now able to make China plate in a way. Just to
Yeah,
simplify it, right?
yeah. Like I said, anything revolving art and art takes time. I mean,
Yeah,
you're never going to be. I don't know that many people who can start any type of art and be perfect or amazing at it the first time.
right. I will even attest to that. I was never like good from the start of art, but of course I had a support system. I had people also showing me many ways of doing art. But yeah, over time, like especially going into a bit of a taking a few art classes really helps all the better too. Did you
Yeah,
ever take art classes before besides
yeah.
pottery?
Well, I've
Ceramics.
taken. Well, well, my middle school and my high school actually did let us do some ceramics. Um, yeah, there was actually a girl at my table in my art class that she was making tiny. Well, they're supposed to be tiny sculptures of different characters Johnny Depp played as, and they were like they kind of look like a bit like pop figures before pop figures were a thing.
Oh no,
Well,
I
she
don't.
was kind of happy with them, aside from the fact that her Willy Wonka, well, his lollipop didn't exactly survive the firing process.
Oh no,
But she was able to glue it back, so
nice. So salvaged.
yeah. I mean, and she actually did feel very proud. She loved them, so
As
I
long as she's proud of it, yeah, I will say that. As long as she's proud of it, right?
yeah,
Because there's a lot of artwork that I've done that, uh, I would say that I'm not too proud of, but I look back at it now and I was like, you know what? This is actually just showing the progress I've made in my life in art. Uh, Speaking of which, I'm probably going probably in the next YouTube video. I'm probably going to do a a sketchbook tour, and it's going to be one of my old sketchbooks I had when I was at least like around 11 to 14, and surprisingly I still got it. But like I don't know how it's going to turn out because I look at the pages and some of the pages didn't last that long. I'm very poor at keeping my artwork preserved. I'm better at it now, but old artwork not so much. What about you?
Uh, well, I've got some sketchbooks. Some of them are half done. Some of them, for some reason, I only done 2 or 3 pages, and I don't know what happened. I mean, I did have some for my art classes, and that do still have some blank pages.
Speaking
And
of
then,
art, what is? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
like, I don't remember, like, the ones for art classes, I kind of understand because, it was summer. I probably set it aside, forgot I had it. But the other ones, I don't know what happened. And then I got out and using printer paper, which is probably some of the worst paper you can use for art.
Yeah, I told Owen Lister about that too, because he showed me the materials that he was using. I was like, yeah, dude, you got to get you some sketchbooks or get you into some sketch paper because printer paper, especially if you're gonna do it in ink, it's not gonna work. Trust me, it's the thinnest paper you could ever use. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Right.
Speaking of art, what do you like to do art on?
What do you mean, actually draw?
Yeah,
Uh, Mostly fantasy stuff. I mean, I have several drawings on dragons
nice, nice.
and mermaids. They're not that good, and actually something in which is something I want to work on. Well, not necessarily mermaids per se, but I'm actually wanting to get better at figure drawing. To kind of help get my proportions right,
Yeah,
my human
you're talking about
characters.
anatomy, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I mean, and I actually got a Amazon card for Christmas, and I decided to buy some books with poses on it to kind
yeah.
of work on it. Actually, we have one. I already used one to draw. Well, I drew the figure, and then I decided to turn it into a mermaid.
Nice.
I might post that to the Facebook page. I may not.
You feel embarrassed by it?
A little bit because the hands to me don't look right. There's something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hear
I,
many a tale that people are always very kind of hesitant to do hands and feet. They're not the best. They're a struggle. I will attest to that. Hands and feet are very a struggle. You know,
yeah,
but I always say
and
this to people as an advice as well. Art wise, like, well, life wise, to be honest, like anything that's too hard for you, start working on that first, and then once you get that out the way, everything will come easy after a while.
and
But
I did do a
sorry,
little bit on the inking too. So like I said, I may post it, I may not. Um, I am going to color it first.
yeah, it's up to you though. I mean, I'm just encouraging you to just go ahead, just do it because it's your first foray is going to be your it's going to be like the okay. I'm gonna stop because I'm trying to give inspirational advice here or inspirational saying, and I'm like really like lost in a train of thought, but I'm sure you have everything under control there, don't you think?
Well, maybe, but you know, it just takes time,
Yeah.
and I probably it's probably another this is probably another way of saying what I said before, but anything worth its weight in gold is worth the effort.
Okay. I'm gonna do a Troy impression. Are you ready?
Yes.
What are you sipping? Hello, wolf. Oh,
Okay, this October we have got to do a slasher film rewatch.
say again.
All right, this October we have got to do a slasher film rewatch.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, they act. Brian Gilmore once asked me which Friday the 13th do I like, and I gave him the answer. So yeah, I was a lot of coincidences were happening as we speak, as you're talking.
Okay. Well, wait, you're the only comments I'm seeing though.
I'm sorry.
Your comments are the
No,
ones I'm.
that was at my stream. Sorry, I didn't clarify. That was at my stream.
Okay.
In the Q&A, that was one of his questions,
Oh man, that'd be
and
a
I
hard
was
one.
like, well, that depends. Which slasher do you want to do?
Well, let's see. I've got the entire Friday 13th series. I've got all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, the
Oh,
entire
nice.
collection. Let's see. I know I've got two. I think I've got two of the. Um, let's see. I know I've got all the Saw movies. I'm trying to think what else. Halloween, and and you know I've got all the Universal horror films too.
That's a plus.
Yeah, let's see. The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and see, there's another. Well, I think I've got two of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I'm kind of disappointed with, and I've never been able to find a collection on that one.
Yeah. Oh, I never told you what I do as far as artwork is concerned, did I?
No.
So, I guess I'll do that while we're here. So you may already know this by now, but I'm very into the anthropomorphic art, or as many commonly referred to as the furry art. And so far, I'm only doing like just normal stuff right now. I don't think I have any energy to do the other stuff that I'm at the risk of saying this on your stream, the NSFW stuff. But as far as that concern, not so much on that one, but I'm still trying to work on my comic. If you don't know what that is, it's After Years. It's been a project that I've been working on for some time now, and I've changed gears so many times on it. Probably about to drop it. Maybe, I don't know. I might stay the course on it. But it's been it started off as a slice of life story. Now it's pretty much a battle comic where anthropomorphic animals fight in a tournament. Basically, that's the summarization of it. That's pretty much it.
Oh, that's cool.
That and another project called Not Your Heroes, which is kind of a mixture of Star Fox and Star Wars.
Yeah, but I don't want to drink this tonight.
Sorry, I don't mean for you to hear the background noise like that.
Okay. Yeah, and something I've been wanting to do. Well, my goal. I'm actually working more on my web novel too, Warrior Vice.
Say again. What was it called again?
Warrior Vice.
Warrior
Of Ice.
Warrior of Ice.
Yeah.
Sweet. That
Yeah.
sounds.
Go ahead.
Would you mind telling me what it's about?
Well, it's about. Well, you might remember the the professor streamed a while back when he was reading parts and kind of doing his edit on them.
Oh, yeah, his pre stuff when you guys were sharing your story openers.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry,
actually, I got it. That was
I don't
not
remember
really.
that.
Um, that's okay.
Well,
It wasn't
yeah,
actually an opener. It was actually kind of part. Well, it was early on in the story, but it was not the opening
okay,
scene.
okay.
But all right. You have this. First of all, my inspiration for it kind of came from Final Fantasy 15, and a little bit of Mortal Kombat, specifically Sub Zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, nice.
Yep.
You got my interest already with that.
And I want
I
to
was
say
like,
I threw in some other stuff like Legend of Dragoon
oh,
and
nice. I've never played that game. Well, I have never gotten around to playing that game because, of course, I don't have a PS2 anymore since I think 2000s, early 2000s. But I've heard about that game. Tell me more. Tell me more.
well, the main character, and I'm probably mispronouncing the name because I actually was looking up Japanese names because I wanted my character to be a ninja.
Oh, nice.
Like Takeo, you know.
Takeda?
Okay, yeah, and all right, he is an exiled, well, somewhat self-exiled ice ninja
Okay,
of the
it's
Ice
actually
Clan.
coming back to me when I think when Professor read your skit,
Yeah,
it's finally
and
come back to me.
yeah, so he was, he is the best friend and former bodyguard of Prince Jaya,
Nice.
and eh, you know, he's living this really peaceful life. When he has a son, he has a wife. And they run it in, and it's just a normal day, and then a messenger comes saying that, telling him to come to the capital, and there he finds out that Prince Jaya has been captured,
Hmm.
and from there, you know goes into with a team to, well, the team actually works to distract the bad guys while he infiltrates the hideout. And he goes in, and you know he finds the prince, he rescues them, and instead of getting out immediately, um he finds out that there is a much bigger plot going on, because what Jai was working on was, he was in the middle of trying to work on this, like, this peaceful alliance with this draconian princess.
And
Um,
their interference kind of screwed it up. Is that correct, or is there
yeah,
more?
there's a little bit more to it because you have several. Well, I kind of added several different villains, villains as well as a main villain, and one of the sub. Well, I'll call them sub generals. Is actually another exiled ice ninja.
Sub generals.
Yeah, maybe there's a better term for it.
Well,
Well,
no. My editor mind is coming in, and I'm not even a professional editor. But if I were to be an editor, I would just call them lieutenants.
okay.
Just lieutenants. Like if they're high ranking, they're just lieutenants. Then the man above is basically a gen. I'm just going by military. Our real life military chain of command. But yeah, I think lieutenant will be a good title for them. Just lieutenant. Kind of like Final Fantasy VII. You have the soldier first class and the soldier second class.
Yeah.
That Is that what you're going to some of that effect with the
Yeah,
sub generals? Yeah, just sub general sounds cool, but yeah, just to make it more streamlined and simplified. Yeah, let's go with general lieutenant.
okay. Well, anyway, this lieutenant, um, well, without doing too much spoilers, she is a bit of a rival to Takeo,
Hmm.
and you know, it's kind of a rivalry that he's not quite aware of. Like, there's a reason she doesn't like him, and it is romantic, but not in the way you think.
It's kind of like
So,
a tease.
yeah,
I like it. Kind of
yeah.
like
So,
kind of reminds me of the '90s way of how they wrote romance. They kind of like be at each other's throats, and over time they started, you know, they see eye to eye. Now it's up to the writer if they want them to get together or just stay good, close friends, right?
true. And as the story goes on, he does meet other members of his clan.
Huh? Yeah, but I don't want to eat my pie tonight.
Just continue.
Clan. I mean, one of them is a healer, and we find, and I am trying to build all these different cultures to make them, keep them in the same world, but also make them distinct. I mean, even within the same kingdom or empire, you have, you do have some variations. You know, in
So what
addition to,
so what kind of cultures are you thinking of adding into this world?
well, obviously the main kingdom or empire is mostly Japanese. And I do
Mostly
actually have another.
Japanese.
Yeah, and there is another kingdom that's nearby that has an alliance with them, which is a bit based on Chinese and Korean cultures. And the Draconians, um, I want to say that they are part pirate and part Viking.
That actually sounds epic. As I'm visualizing it, that sounds very epic. Viking dragons.
Yeah, and I do have another their race that they're nomadic. They're actually a little bit based on Native Americans, and some of them can turn into wolves.
Oh, nice. Shifters,
And,
right?
yeah, and there is another. They're different culture. They're a bit more ways away, which there is a reason why this group is actually in this kingdom and far away from their own homeland. It gets revealed a little bit later, and they can they actually can turn into lions or lions.
Sweet.
Um,
This is sounding familiar of the Legus from the Fire Emblem series. I don't mean to be the comparer or try to compare your work to other stuff, but I like this idea that you're coming up. But as I'm hearing it's really it calls to mind a lot of cool concepts that I've come across. But like I said, they it reminds me of the luck. Have you played Fire Emblem by any chance? Any of the Fire Emblem games?
I think I did play Conquest and
Yeah.
what was it? Birthright.
Hmm. My only foray was Path of Radiance, and that's where I learned of the Legus in that one, which are people. They're they're shifters. They can shift into animals, and that's how they fight mostly. They're at their weakest when they're in their quote unquote humanoid form. But yeah, when you're explaining this, I'm like, huh. Reminds me of Legos, but keep that concept in mind. No, keep that concept. That's a nice concept. Actually, I hope you don't take that out. You have a very well crafted world there, and I hope you continue on this journey you have. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Now, ironically, actually, this story was actually originally supposed to be about Takeo's son, and for some reason, when I was working on what was supposed to be the background, it just Takeo just kind of took over. So eventually, I might do a sequel with his son.
That would be a good course of action. Like you do the first story through Takeda's perspective, and then the next story the sequel you go into his son's perspective. Definitely, that I would say that would be a nice change of pace right there to see where his son is and how is he doing. You know, you can also expand his son's story further. I mean, I I hate to bring up Game of Thrones. I don't know if you're a fan of Game of Thrones or the Ice and Fire series, but something I gotta give George R. R. Martin credit for is that he's able to keep stories interesting through the perspective of other characters and still make them be awesome, or at least he writes them in such a way that keeps you interested, even if the certain characters die in such embarrassing ways, or certain characters die in epic ways, or some certain characters succeed or fail in interesting ways that you can actually it gives you an idea of something like that could actually happen. You know.
Yeah, and I think another thing that kind of inspired this world was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Particularly,
Oh
it was in
yes,
some of my characters. They can bend different elements. Like, the Ice Clan actually, some of them can, summon ice weapons. I mean, I don't think that's something they've ever done in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I've never really understood it. If you have like the ability to use just form ice to use ice to your ice, why would I mean I
I
mean would
can name a few examples where that is somewhat the case. Well, they don't necessarily make weapons, but certain things were formed to show as weapons in a way. Um, are you familiar with the episode the Puppet Master?
oh yeah, the bloodbender.
Well, she Hama was able to make nail weapons out of ice in a way, throwing darts, if you will. So
Oh
I would say that
yeah.
that's kind of close to being a weapon. The thing is that the wirebenders have such a interesting point of view of how wirebending works to the point where they never. I always like to think the timeline as a pro- progressing thing where certain wirebenders haven't really pushed that mode outside of wirebender yet to the point where they have yet to think about creating weapons out of ice or water, if you will. I mean, they've already knows how. I mean, Qatar turns a whole block of ice into ice discuses, like the flying flat disc like things. That's supposed to be in a weapon right there. Where
It's
she fought
yeah,
Paku in that fight. That's close enough to be called a weapon right there too.
yeah. I might actually
Um,
have something like that in for if there is some more beginners, because KO is supposed to be one of the more powerful um ones. I mean, there is a legendary level that you know like these are so powerful and so skilled that they like their names have gone down in history. It's
Mm.
you know to he's kind of grown into the point where these things are just stories, and and, and part of his skill level is he can actually, when he forms them, they actually look like they are like made out of metal,
Sweet.
like like actual shurikens or even a katana.
So you will have to really differentiate each one's level of skill, which one stands out the most.
Yeah, and shurikens
Obviously.
are supposed to be, well, I'll, I'll give you an example. His son, I think I put him down as either 4 or 5, is able to form 1-inch shuriken snowflakes,
Mm.
which that is supposed to be very advanced for his age.
I'll give you a little more info about the world of after years. Um, if you would, if you like for me to share.
Sure.
So in my world of after years, just about every animal in the animal kingdom is anthropomorphic, though the world is kind of a sort of alien world. It's not. It's sci-fi light. I don't think I'm going to go full size sci-fi yet, but think of it as like how Avatar, like James Cameron's Avatar was
Hmm.
in that regard. But I'm taking more inspiration from Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, so to speak. But in this world, there are sovereign colonies. One of the colonies will be Braca. That's going to be the based colony. I'm actually considering whether or not I'm going to drop that name, sovereign colony, and I'm probably going to call it a city instead. But Braca is going to be the based where the story will take place. Um, it's going to be taking place after a certain war that happened, but it's going to center around two characters, which is Sybil and Shirley. Here's the kicker though. Sybil is a dire wolf, anthropomorphic animal, and she comes from a faraway nation called Habram. And in Habram, that's where all the prehistoric animals, like your giant sloths, your giant grizzly bears, and woolly rhinos and woolly mammoths, comes from. That's where they're from. And since the war had happened between Habram and the continent that Braca is based on is Ustina, which is called the continent is called Ustina. The Habram are now stranded. Remnants of Habram are stranded on Ustina, so they're pretty much integrating to survive within Ustina. But it's going to be starring her as the Habram direwolf, and Shirley's going to be just your average goat anthropomorphic animal. But the aim for them is to compete into the Apex tournament, and they got to win prestige. So the first book will be them trying to win prestige, and then the second book will be about the Apex tournament. Plus, we'll be introducing other characters along the way, like her brother Bastion, her twin brother, her biggest rival Charlene, which is a Dalmatian. Uh, more about her in more detail in the story because it's very expansive how I designed her. But yeah, it's basically like I said, it's a battle comic, and it's basically have you heard of uh you're familiar with fighting games, right? Like you say you play Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah.
It's basically like that, except without the blood and the gore. Kind of like your average Baki the grappler anime fight anime.
Okay.
Kind of like it's basically that type of story of a fight manga, but with anthropomorphic animals, and they're fighting to the top with a bit of
Okay. A bit like
you were gonna say something.
I'm not sure if you remember that game. I just remember playing the demo for it
What game?
back when I was a kid.
You kind of
Bloody
robot. What did you say? Bloody Roar. Yeah. Only they don't transform. They're literal animals. I played Primal Fury on the GameCube, and I had Blade Roar 4 for the PS2. So some influence from that. There's a lot of influence that then if it involves anthropomorphic animals, I'm all for it, and you can see where the influence comes from. Like Not Your Heroes, the Star Fox and Star Wars story I'm planning on doing, which yeah, you can see where I got the influences from, but I'm actually rewriting it in such a way that it's its own thing. And that also has anthropomorphic animals, but the difference is that they're dragons, anthro dragons that are the main characters, siblings. I'm that's probably going to be a writer's preference that people are going to pick up on. I like to write siblings. if you noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
So,
not exactly sure what actually I don't know what you call it, but I think my main problem with as a writer is I always get stuck on certain names. Like uh like I have a dozen characters named Leonardo and a dozen named
Leonardo?
well, they go
You,
by Leo and Leo, Leonardo, different things. One of them was actually a cat ninja. I don't know why I have this fascination with ninjas. I mean, and actually that was what I was writing back in high school.
so you have
Yeah,
a fascination with the name Leo of any phrasing of it.
yeah,
Is
as well as Catalina. No, I mean, I actually have several characters named Catalina or Cat, and
oh,
some named Jaden or Jade or something along that.
coincidence. Speaking of which, one of my characters in Not Your Heroes is also called Catherine or
Oh,
Cat. Um, and she has a brother too called Dan. That's what I'm saying. Like that's probably going to be what people are going to notice more when I get into the writing foray. So I like to write siblings, but this is going to be a sibling combo in Not Your Heroes, whereas in After Years it's going to be more of a sibling rivalry at play on that one. But Not Your Heroes is this is one thing I like to do when it comes to groups. I try to do an equal balance of two guys, two girls. So for Not Your Heroes, it's going to be two guys, two girls. So it's going to be Catherine and Daniel, which is our brother's name, and then there's Dracano and Molly, which are the dragon characters. And Dracano's basically what Kid Me had thought of. I don't know why I named his sister Molly. I might change that, but there's a significance to why they're named that, and that's going to come up in the story. Which
well, apparently
culture clash.
Molly is kind of a nickname for Margaret, so there's that.
I did not know that actually. That's a new one. I did not know that Molly was short for Margaret.
Well,
Thought it was
well,
Marge actually.
and this one really doesn't make a lot. Well, like I have a friend named. Well, I always called him Corey, and everyone called him Corey, but his actual name was James.
Hmm.
Yeah, for some reason, Corey is a nickname for James, and I still don't understand that.
Seems like a language thing. I'm gonna assume that's a language thing from olden times. I would say that's why I would. That's where my speculation is coming from. Because my real name is obviously Irish, and who knows what nicknames they have for that one. That doesn't even pertain to my name, right?
Yeah,
But
and
other,
well, I know my my name is English, but I know I'm part Dutch and I know I'm part German, and through my brother, I found out we are we're part Danish, and I know I'm part Cherokee.
oh, nice. I
Yeah, it's a
don't.
weird combination.
I haven't really looked into my lineage at all. I want to though.
Well, back when I was in high school, at my graduation, one of well, the family historian actually gave me this book that was kind of a family tree that kind of
Sweet.
that kind of gave names on on families, and that goes back quite a bit. And my brother, um, there, I don't understand why he didn't get one, but when he became converted to being a Mormon a few years ago, part of their thing is family trees. So he actually borrowed my book, and through that book, he was able to find out we're part Danish.
Oh wow.
And the only reason I found out the Native American part of my blood the back when I was a kid. Well, my kid they actually had a story that our great grandfather was, and his last name was Hawk,
Hmm.
and
But
you
yeah.
know that is and turned out he was an Indian. And this was something the historian
Thank you.
discovered. So she was really excited to show this um off at a family reunion.
That's amazing. I know your family probably was what shocked or interested to know more, right?
Yeah, I mean, and my dad's side of the family, I don't really know how to describe it because it's where my mom they met up once a year. Um, I don't know, something happened wrong before I was born where for some reason the different family members were not talking for
Hmm.
several years. And about, I want to say around 2010, 2009, they decided it started to get to where they were meeting, but it was at funerals. And that kind of pushed them to doing a bi-monthly family reunion.
Hmm.
Now,
Interesting.
obviously, for the past year, they've not been able to do that, but
Yeah. Of course. Which sucks, if you ask me.
yeah, but it was actually pretty nice. I mean, there's a local steakhouse. I call it a steakhouse, but it's really more of a country
Hmm.
food, and
I
they,
can.
yeah, and they serve steak. They have seafood, food, and they have some of the most tenderest ribs you've ever tasted.
I would like to try to cut down on beef though.
Oh, well, I think they're actually pork. I never actually asked them, but you know, they are so tender. They just fall off the bone, and there's this smoked chicken. Chicken, if you pull the bone right, you will pull the bone clean out.
Nice.
and it is so tender and so juicy.
I I'll take your word for it, definitely.
I mean, to give you an idea, me, my brother and sister, we do not agree on a lot of things. All three of us agree that chicken is delicious.
It is.
Yeah, and we have very different tastes.
So, are you saying that you guys cook chicken differently?
Well, I'm saying we have different tastes in food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, my sister, she loves Thai food. She food. My brother, he will eat any type of spicy chicken. He loves spicy chicken wings. And me, you know, well, I like Italian, and I mean, and you know, well, there is actually a Japanese restaurant right, like a short walk from where I work that I would sometimes go to before the situation started during my lunch break, and
That's nice.
and then I would get, you know, sometimes beef, sometimes chicken, well, like hibachi chicken or shrimp, and and they'd have fried rice and stir fried vegetables, bowls, and you'd have a little bowl of soup to
Food.
begin with, and oh, and the cheese wontons. Man, I'm getting hungry now. How'd this turn
Well,
into a food stream?
I was going to ask that question. We were talking about art, stories, and food was going to be mentioned at some point.
Well, technically, food is an art as well.
Yeah, it is. I've seen a lot of artworks in food, and I can tell you right now, it is amazing.
Oh, but yeah, that little restaurant, like I said, the food there is great. I can honestly say I've never had anything there that tasted terrible.
So they
I mean,
keep
it's
their
been
they keep their work top quality, regardless.
yeah. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive than the average country kitchen, but you know, you can't, you can't really say that it's not quality.
Right. I prefer quality over quantity, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, actually, they also give you quite a bit of food on the plate too.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, um, as in your plate's pretty much full. I mean, when they say, let's see, I think their 8-ounce sirloin is about $16,
Oh,
and you get two sides.
and where is this at?
Um, well, like I said, it is a local restaurant. It's Cody Creek, the depot.
Nice. Depot Creek. Processing. That's why I'm talking like that. So, any other plans for your YouTube channel?
Well, I am going to do some more videos. I mean, obviously, after I get done with Hitman, I'm going to go into Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I will be doing the original Final Fantasy on Fridays.
Oh, I'm all for both of those. If I assuming that things don't change during my scheduling, because I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but you never know. I'm just like thinking far ahead, you know.
Yeah, and after Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm going to jump on to Samurai Warriors 4 and Samurai Warriors 4 too.
Your favorite foray. Muso games.
Yeah,
Speaking of Muso games, have you ever played the Fist of the North Star games by any
this
chance?
store. I'm afraid not.
They're not too. Well, I have not played Ken's Rage 2, but I did play Ken's Rage 1, and it was not too bad. The leveling system, or at least the way how you purchase moves was kind of a pain, especially when you upgrade. The characters move like a slug when in their movement, so it was more over time. It was a bit of like a Dark Souls trade off thing when you fought, but the more you upgrade, the more they fought faster, or at least when you upgrade a certain move for them to move faster in their fighting. But it was still a good game for the first game. I don't know how the second game was, but I heard that the creators of Yakuza also did a Fist of the North Star game, and I saw a gameplay for it. And I'm like, I bet you it's on PS4, isn't it? Which I don't have,
Well,
and nor do I
you
intend to buy
nothing
one.
right now, and I understand you don't really want to support Sony, but now would be a good time because PlayStation 4s are not that expensive. And you can always buy used version, which
Right,
admittedly used I'm kind of nervous about as far as electronics go.
right. I will
But
say this: I do plan on buying a Switch to play Monster Hunter Rise because I've seen the gameplay of that, and I'm really like anxious to play that game. So I'm definitely gonna buy a Nintendo Switch for that one. If not that game, then maybe Hyrule Warriors, the recent Hyrule Warriors game.
uh-huh. And you should also check out the Room Factory 5. I mean, I know they got Room Factory 4 for Switch now. I mean, it was originally on 3DS.
Room
Um,
Factory.
well, how do I describe it? Okay, think Harvest Moon
Mm.
plus I don't really want to say Final Fantasy, but there are some fantasy elements to it. Um, more of the all right, Room Fact. Well, Harvest
Oh, I
Moon.
heard about that actually, but I've never seen any gameplay footage yet. I will
Well,
continue. I will say I will continue the Persona series, but I've been so far removed from the story itself that I'm just like, it's gonna be hard for me to actually get into that series again. Did play the fighting game version of it though, the
well,
Persona Ultimate Arena Ultimates for
okay,
360.
okay. Well, Room Factory. Well, of the various Room Factory games, most of the time you start off as a character who lands in this town where you have amnesia.
Oh,
Yeah,
Amnesia
like you don't
Plot.
remember anybody or anything that happened before, and then for some reason they give you a house, and then they give you a farm, and they say go start farming.
Oh wow, go
Yeah,
start farming.
yeah. Well, not that exactly, but it's kind of implied. I mean, they give you a hoe, they give you a watering can, they give you some turnip seeds, and you have a garden. And
Hmm.
well, and actually in four, the actual words well, because they actually think you're a prince slash princess, depending on which character, well, which uh, which gender you decide to play as,
Right.
and you wake up the first morning after, and oh, you're supposed to meet this character in the garden, and surprise, you have to work the garden, and 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 this is the will of a dragon. Like, and the exact words they say to quote her is, "Those who do not work do not eat."
I think
And
that should be a golden rule for everywhere.
yeah,
You do not work, you eat. You
yeah,
don't get to eat.
yeah. So after you start building your farm and working it a you while you end up, you go to different dungeons and you battle monsters, and slowly as story starts to unfold, you actually build relationships to various characters in the town, and eventually you can marry one of them. And
Hmm.
depending on the characters, there's you might not be able to even date them until you finish the main story.
Awesome. I do kind of like systems like that.
And I'm not sure if they added anything to 4 when they moved it to the Switch. Um, but 4 was a bit, it does tie back to the original one one as far as bringing back an old villain. I'm not going to spoil much, um, but you do have the original
So
villain back,
I don't mean
and
to cut you off, but for tomorrow, I think I can be able to make it to your stream and match a stream tomorrow
oh, that's great.
because I think he's going to be later, and I can fit both of you guys into my I can fit myself into you guys stream basically because I because he just contacted me recently about the Space Marine stream that he's doing, and I was like, yeah, I can come, but just let you know, I'm also going to be joining a Green Lion Girl for her rewatch, and he said, cool. So other than that, I'm really going to be a busy guy throughout this month and the months to come throughout this year, trying to be more productive while we're on lockdown. Me and mostly me and the wife. She only gets to work one day at a time now, and I don't like that either. For both of us, me not working, her working for one day at a time. It almost feels, at this point, it feels like I'm fired or let go or let off. You know,
Yeah,
so that's why I'm saying like I might as well just work this into a business. This whole Wolf Commander Ramble stuff and the UN Space Sea Wolf fleets now growing. It's beginning to grow now. Um, and also working on my selling my art too as well, and selling my skills. You know,
yeah, yeah.
so I
Well,
already
I know.
mentioned that. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I already mentioned that in the Professor Geese group that I've already started a Patreon. So I'm gonna see how that's gonna go. But what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not quite to the Patreon level yet. I mean, I just now got 81 subscribers.
Yeah, you have more subscribers than me, and I'm not even jealous of over that either. I'm not even envious of that. I'm just really just happy that you come that you got that far. Because at this moment I'm at 41 subscribers, and you that's an accomplishment right in itself. You know,
Yeah, I'm
For
actually
you.
hoping I can get to 100 by March, but who knows?
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
I'm
try
gonna
to.
call it tonight.
Yeah, yeah. It's getting that time anyway. So
Yeah, I didn't mean to be talking this long. I'll be honest. I thought it was just gonna be a quick, hey, just
it's
check and
a
see how everything works. Making sure I can
it's a
actually
gift and a
listen.
curse on me because when I get going, that's where the conversations start going. So I think it's mostly me that's why that happens because I'm pretty sure a lot of people will say like, oh, I'm not planning to stay here that long, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we just an hour just passed.
Well, well, I think I remember Professor Geek talking a while back during one of the book studies where, Al for some reason was having technical issues, and he was talking about
Yeah,
the chapter, and that was a really short stream, and he kind of mentioned that it's kind of hard to do when you don't have someone to bounce off of.
that's the same thing I was saying, especially again with the Wolf Command rounds. I'm planning to have more people to join me in the discussions that topics I'm bringing up. Just to segue into that, definitely going to be working on that. So just let you know now that that's also an option for anybody who wants to join me now to be a wingman, if you will. Or at least in your case, you'll be a guest speaker if you like. But it seems like your StreamYard is working just fine for just about an hour and a half at this moment.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and,
I will.
and there's probably someone saying, "What was she worried about?" Oh, yeah.
I'm just going with the flow at this point. But this is good talk right here.
Hi, for,
And
me.
well, you heard in the background, she said hello.
Tell her hello
When
for
you
me.
say goodbye.
She said hello. I was answering her back for you.
Well,
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
she.
call it a night here. Thanks for coming and talking and helping, kind of helping me figure this out. And hopefully tomorrow we'll go off without a hitch.
Yeah. You have a good night.
You too.
So I said goodbye.
I want to tell your wife good night from me too.
She said good night.
I said goodnight.
All right. Take care.
You too.